connective tissue. In this lecture we will going to discuss about the special tissue and which kind of special tissue. Today we are going to discuss about the sclerous connective tissue. Okay, so sclerous connective tissue, we know that, which includes the cartilage. And what is cartilage? So cartilage is composed of specialized cells called chondrocytes. Means the cells of the cartilage are the chondrocytes. And if I am saying that cartilage means, first thing which should come in our mind is that it is the flexible type of tissue, like in the ear, in our ear also, and in the costal cartilage, that is in the distal end of the ribs, and also we can find this cartilaginous structure in the trachea. Okay, so with this kind of structure we should have seen, and we should know that these are the cartilaginous structure. So now we will see it in detail, that it is composed of a specialized type of cells that is called cartilage, and that produce a large amount of collagenous extracellular matrix. Means chondrocyte, that is the cell of the cartilage that is producing the large amount of collagenous extracellular matrix, abundant ground substance that is rich in proteoglycan and elastic fibers. So cartilaginous tissue, which is the found in the body, in some places we will see it in detail where it is found, how many types of cartilage are found in the body. So it is having the specific type of cell that is called chondrocyte, that produces a large amount of collagenous extracellular matrix and abundant ground substance that is rich in, so the substance which is rich in proteoglycans and elastic fibers. Now this is a specialized connective tissue responsible for the formation of general framework of the body as well as some viscera to support the soft structures. And it is of two type, cartilage as well as bone. Okay, so sclerous tissue means this is specialized connective tissue, that is the specialized type of tissue, that is sclerous tissue, which is of two type, cartilage and bone. Now cartilage characteristics: it is firm, it is flexible tissue, it contains no blood vessels and nerves, matrix is made up of 80% water, and cell are the chondrocyte. What are the types of cartilage? Hyaline cartilage, elastic cartilage and fibrocartilage. Now the three types of cartilage. Prior to discuss in detail about the three type of cartilage, we should know how it grows. So cartilage growth occur by two ways. As we can see in this photograph, it is showing the growth. This is the perichondrium, these are the chondroblast cells, and these are the chondrocytes. And blast means forming cell, blast is indicating that means forming. So oppositional side by side parallel growth is showing in this photograph, means this perichondrium which is having this chondroblast, they are growing in this side and this side, both side. So we can see that here that cartilage growth occurs by two ways. First is from the perichondrium, it gives chondroblast, and chondroblast then gonna produce matrix. This is known as oppositional growth. Okay, so we can see now, and then those chondroblasts become the chondrocytes. So this is the oppositional growth. Okay, now the sometimes in matrix mitosis leads to the formation of isogenous groups. Means mitosis will produce the more cells that is forming the isogenous group from same mother cell, and with time they produce matrix and separate. So here we can see this is the isogenous group, means the cells which is together joined and forming a group like that is called isogenous group, and interstitial occupying the interweaving space, and that is called growth. So growth is showing here. Now first is the hyaline cartilage description. First we will see it is imperceptible means collagen fibers, means it is having the collagen fiber which is forming it, and the chondroblast produce the matrix in this case, and chondrocytes lies in the lacuna. So chondrocyte lie in the lacuna, and this is the matrix. Now function. So it supports and reinforces a resilient cushion, it resists repetitive stress, and where it is found, the location is ends of the long bones, means that is called we can say that articular structure is there on the end of the bone that is articulating with other bone, that is having the cartilage, that is hardline cartilage, coastal cartilage of the ribs, as well as cartilage of the nose and trachea and the larynx. And this cartilage derives its nutrition from the synovial fluid. And no perichondrium is persist in articular cartilage. So the bones which is having ends, and on the ends hyaline cartilage is found, and that location perichondrium is not there. Okay, so next point which is we have to remember that it is no perichondrium is present in the articular cartilage of the joint in that is hyaline cartilage, hyaline type of cartilage. So we can see here, this is the articular cartilage, means this is showing you the end of the bone. Okay, on the end of the bone this hyaline cartilage is there, which is having matrix, and the cells are there, but the cells in the hard cartilage are located in a space, as we can see that this is the actually in this case like this lacuna is there, inside the lacuna the cell is found. So this is the lacuna is the space in which the chondrocytes are residing, or they are found inside the lacuna, we can say. So next point we can see here that articular cartilage is present here. This is the end of the long bone, this is the end of the long bone, this is the synovial fluid within the joint, and this is the synovial membrane, this is the articular cartilage, this is the fibrous joint capsule, then joint cavity filled with synovial fluid we can see, which is providing nutrition, as we know that, and then ligaments are there, that is joining the bone to bone. Next point, hyaline cartilage in the fetal region also we can see, this is the fetal skeleton which is also formed by the hyaline cartilage. And in the larynx, so we can see that suppose the larynx numerous laryngeal that we can say that C-shaped structure is there in the formation of larynx, which is incomplete dorsally. So one section is showing you here, that is which you can see here, this is the pseudostratified columnar ciliated epithelium with goblet cells. These are the goblet cells, the round structure, and these are the cilia in the upper region, and these are the pseudostratified columnar epithelium. And below that we can find that these in this region, these are the showing you the submucosal region. And just below that, instead of tunica muscularis, we can find here the cartilaginous structure, that is the hyaline cartilage. It is glassy in appearance, which is tracheal ring, and we can see that numerous lacunas are visible in which the pointed darkly stained structure, that is the chondrocytes, which is visible here. So this is found in the trachea also. And now as here written, it is the larynx. So in the larynx as well as in the trachea, both side we can find. In the larynx, in some cartilage are hyaline type, and some are elastic type. Okay, epiglottis is the elastic type of cartilage, and other than epiglottis, other are the formed by the hyaline cartilage. But in the arytenoid cartilage, that is the paired cartilage, some process are elastic cartilage. Some process of the arytenoid cartilage of the larynx are formed by the elastic cartilage, like cuneiform and carticulate, like that is the we will see later also. So just remember that the larynx, end of the long bone, end of the ribs, as well as in the skeleton we can find the hyaline cartilage. Now come to the next is the elastic cartilage. The differentiating feature between the hyaline and elastic cartilage is that this is presence of lot of elastic fibers in this kind. So as the name indicate, elastic cartilage means lot of elastic fibers, and it means when we can, if we are changing the shape of the elastic cartilage, it will regain its original shape because of its elasticity. The description where we can find it is similar to the hyaline cartilage, but more elastic fibers in the solid matrix we can find here. So this is the chondrocyte in the lacuna. You can see here the elastic fibers are numerous, which is visible. So next point, the collagen fiber 2 fibers are also found in this case, and function, it is maintain the shape of the structure, it allow great flexibility. Okay, now next point, we can see that where it is found, so it will support the external ear. If you change your shape, external ear's shape, it will regain its original shape. So it support the external ear, lateral region of the external auditory meatus. In the epiglottis also we can find. Okay, so in this epiglottis we can also find this yellow elastic cartilage, and after that we can also, yes, I told you, just corniculate and cuneiform laryngeal cartilage, and these are the corniculate and cuneiform are the process of arytenoid cartilage. After that, medial part of eustachian tube and auditory tube or auditory canal. What is eustachian tube? So this is the we can say that the middle ear, when we communicate with the pharynx, because of the equalization of pressure, it should be communicate with the pharynx inside. So that part is called, that communicating tube is called eustachian tube in the middle ear. So that is also formed by the elastic cartilage. Now this is the perichondrium, and these are the lacunas. These are the lacunas. These are the lacunas. Now we can see here the epiglottis. So epiglottis, we can see that in this photograph we can see the image, which is in a sectioned image. So we can see here this epiglottis is having the epithelium, that is the mucous membrane formed by the pseudostratified columnar epithelium, and in this location the cartilage is there. Yeah, here in this location, this is the location of the cartilage. This is formed by the we can say that hyaline cartilage, sorry, elastic cartilage. Now in this photograph we can see this is the epiglottis. Epiglottis we can find here, this is the showing you the middle part. In the zoom image we can find here the numerous type of lacunas, which is having the chondrocytes, which is sitting on the lacuna. And then external ear. In the external ear also you can see that this is the epidermis, then dermis is there below that. On both sides this is epidermis, then dermis, and in the middle region we can find that, we can see here in this location, these are the elastic cartilaginous structure. And in the large image we can see here, this is the epidermis and dermis, and in the middle we can see the elastic cartilage, which is having numerous lacuna, in which the chondrocytes are found, and the fibers of elastic fibers are in between the lacuna, which is visible. Now white fibrocartilage. So it is matrix is similar, but less firm than the hyaline cartilage, and thick collagen fiber predominate here. So this is the chondrocytes in the lacuna, this is the collagen fibers. Then function: tensile strength and ability to absorb compressive shock. Here location is the intervertebral disc. So fibrocartilage, it is very important to note down that the tensile strength and ability to absorb compressive shock is the primary function, because of numerous type of collagen fibers here that is predominate, and it is found in the intervertebral disc, means in between the vertebrae. And this next example is the amphiarthrodial joint, in which the we know that amphiarthrodial means partially movable joint, which includes two types of joint, that is synchondrosis and pelvic symphysis. And synchondrosis, you know that this is the amphiarthrodial type of joint, and pelvic symphysis or pubic symphysis is found in the pelvic girdle. Then menisci and ligaments of the stifle joint, that is a diarthrodial joint, in which the menisci, that is what is menisci? So orange flake like structure, which is found in between the bones of the stifle joint, and that is shock absorber type structure, which is formed by the white fibrocartilage. After that, synarthrodial joint. Synarthrodial joint includes syndesmosis and suture joint also. So syndesmosis is the structure, and the suture joint are also the structure which is there we can find. Okay, so sutures which is found in the head bone, means the cranial bones, and the syndesmosis is found in between the vomer, and we can say that that is the found in the occipital region. So that is the also the white fibrocartilaginous structure. Now disc of the knee joint also is having the white fibrocartilage. After that, we can see in this photograph that this is the cartilage, that is fibrocartilage, and we can find the fibrocytes, that is the here spindle shaped cell. This is the fibrocartilage as a whole, and we can see the chondrocyte sitting in the lacuna, and numerous fibrous structure is there. Now the next is the intervertebral disc or annulus fibrosis. So annulus fibrosis is the found in the in between the vertebrae. So annulus fibrosus is there, we can see, and this is the fibrocyte, this is the chondrocytes in the lacuna. Okay, so this is the intervertebral disc that is having the annulus fibrosis here. Now the fibrocartilage in intervertebral disc, nucleus pulposus and annulus fibrosis rupture leads to the slip disc. So when this fibrocartilage in the intervertebral disc is visible, this is one vertebra in the section and image, that is another vertebra, and in between the vertebra that is the fibrocartilaginous structure in the intervertebral disc. This is a synchondrosis type of joint, and we can find here this is the cartilaginous structure. Yes, here and here this is the cartilaginous structure. So that is the fibrocartilaginous structure, and inside this we can find the nucleus pulposus and the annulus fibrosis, and which leads to the ruptured structure in the during injury, and the condition is called slip disc. Now cartilage or amphiarthrosis joint in the, which we can see that in the sphenoid, in joint between the sphenoid and occipital bone. Okay, so sphenoid and occipital is the synchondrosis type of joint. Here we can see that the synchondrosis in the in the intervertebral disc and in between the sphenoid and occipital joint, that is also is having the this kind of fibrocartilage. We can see here in this location synchondrosis. Yes, here this is the synchondrosis, this is synchondrosis. Next is the we can find in the pubic symphysis. So this is the pubic symphysis, in which we can find this in this location the fibrocartilaginous structure is there, which we can see here, that is the numerous lacunas in which the chondrocytes are sitting along with the numerous collagen fibers. Then meniscus and ligaments of the stifle joint are formed by the fibrocartilage. So this is the femur and this is the tibia and this is the fibula. In between them we can find the menisci. This bluish structure is that is the orange flake like structure like this, that is acting as a shock absorber structure, that is found in between the distal end of the femur and proximal end of the tibia and fibula, and the ligament is there that to hold the bones together, and along with that we can see the collateral, medial collateral and posterior cruciate ligament, medial menisci. In this side we can see the lateral menisci, the annular cartilage, anterior cruciate ligament, lateral cruciate ligament is also there. So in this location the menisci is the fibrocartilaginous structure. After that in this photograph we can see that, this is the menisci on both sides, it is in the section, it appear like this in the stifle joint. This is the section of the ligament, this is the end of the long bone which is hyaline cartilage having articular, this articular cartilage is the hyaline cartilage. So menisci we can see is in this photograph now, this is the fibrocartilaginous structure. If you see that ligament is also having the chondrocytes in the lacuna in that location, that is the fibrocartilaginous structure. Now in the another photograph, synanthrosis means fibrous joint or immovable joint, and the example is sutures and syndesmosis. Syndesmosis means in between the metacarpal and attachment between the costal cartilage is showing you the syndesmosis. Syndialysis and in the gomphosis is also the example of the synanthrosis example. Is including the gomphosis in the teeth and syndialysis in the we can find in the cranial region. So we can see in this photograph that is the fibrous joint, and this is the skin frontal bone from an avian fetus is showing you. This is the muscles, and the syndesmosis and the suture is showing here. We can find the fibrocartilaginous structure. Now in the synovial joint, disc of the knee joint, and in the joint capsule is there, outer fibrous layer, synovial membrane is there. So in this location we can find the this synovial joint. So this is all about the cartilage. Thank you.